Welcome back. It is International Women's Day and I am joined by two amazing young women. They helped create Ding Ding Next, which is a comedy short that will be on your screens tonight on BBC4. Orla O'Sullivan is here. She plays the lead role. I am also joined by India Plummer, who is the co-director. Hi, ladies.
Hello.
Welcome. Let's get straight stuck in. Ding Ding Next. I saw it last night. It's fabulous. You can watch it on BBC iPlayer at the moment. Kind of give me a little bit of a summary of what it's about, Orla.
It's basically our kind of idea of what speed dating might be like in the future in a kind of absurd, wacky world. It's a comedy, kind of weird, absurd comedy.
And India, from your perspective, it's quite like a unique idea. I feel like it could be something a little bit Black Mirror-y, you know, when you can kind of see it happening in real life. Where did this idea all kind of come from?
So weirdly enough, it's not just me and Orla connected to the project. So there's a team of us called Mint Face, which we started after doing our MAs at Guildford. So we are a kind of big collective team. And my co-director, Craig, just kind of came up with this random idea for a dating short, which was all about people kind of getting matched together with AIs, and it kind of grew from there. So the idea of doing some kind of dating short grew from Craig's brain, let's say, but putting in the AI bots and having this kind of amalgamation of an old style dating ring with this kind of Black Mirror-esque vibe that you talk about was kind of a collective effort, really. We realized quite quickly as a group that we all love Black Mirror anyway. We all watch it quite a lot, and we really like the idea of, you know, how technology affects a culture. So we picked up on that quite quickly, that we like that, so we wanted to kind of put that in.
And I think it's interesting because during lockdown, I know myself and a lot of my friends, like, dating is obviously very, very difficult, and it is all now on apps and like socially distanced meetings. So it's kind of like weirdly mirrored what's going on. It weirdly Black Mirrored it.
It is weird. It's bizarre, isn't it, Orla? Like it's odd because, you know, we wrote this in like 2019, so obviously coronavirus wasn't even a thing then. But yeah, some of the stuff that's been happening, talking to people on a video and having like a glass of wine is slightly reminiscent of the film, which is bizarre thinking about it now.
You wrote it in 2019. And what next? Because a lot of young people I know will be kind of thinking, oh, how do I get commissioned by big channels, BBC, ITV, Channel 4? Kind of, where do you take that next?
So Craig had this idea and then, you know, put it to our group, put it to our collective, like, oh, should I submit this? And we were like, the deadline's tomorrow, like, we're never going to make it, we don't have time to do it. But him and our friend Ollie, who's also part of the collective, just wrote this script out really quickly. They wrote the application really, really quickly, submitted it, and it got picked up for a kind of meeting, which is like the next point on, and then you get commissioned after that. But we were unlucky the first time round that we wanted to get it commissioned. We went for the meeting. We didn't, I mean, like, me and India will tell you, like, we had no idea what we were doing, and it was only me and her that could make the meeting, and we were literally like, what are we doing? Who's directing? I can't direct it.
Yeah.
Like, I can't direct. We don't know what we're doing.
Were you nervous? You must have been really nervous, the pair of you.
Do you know what? We'd had no sleep. I remember it very clearly. Like, Orla and I had kind of got all of these materials together because we were obviously so shocked that we'd got a pitch meeting. So we'd got all of these materials together. We just hadn't really had any sleep. We just knew that we had this script and we had a strong kind of mood board and treatment to go with it, which I think from the feedback that we got was like the opposite way around, that people normally kind of bring projects to the table, but we kind of had the opposite thing. So they just said, you know, you need to think about who's going to be a director at least, and then come back. Yeah, it was really bizarre, and Craig and I were just like, well, let's try and do it. It's a bit scary, but why not?
It sounds really obvious, but when you pitched it, you were actually saying what was happening in the film, what the audience would be watching, and the characters and the storylines that they were engaging with, instead of like thematic stuff that was quite vague.
think that's a really good point. And obviously this kind of nice cyclical thing, like nowadays, you know, you can just hop on a Zoom call with a commissioning producer at, you know, there was one from Channel 4 who was speaking to us, and he was like, you know, it's really nice now. It means that we can listen to much more, you know, so many more pitches instead of spending 2 hours in a coffee shop with someone. So that's kind of a nice thing that's happened. So what Orla said, kind of specifically telling people what it's about and also how it would fit a channel, I think that's really important. But yeah, I think just having a really strong idea, if I'm honest with you, and having answers for everything, like why, you know, they would quiz us and say, you know, I don't understand that, why have they done that? And we had answers for all of the reasons why we did it. So they could work with us, but they didn't see a massive flaw in anything, which made them really confident in thinking, right, we're going to actually give you money, and we feel confident that you're going to be able to produce a product at the end of this.
It looked a little bit like you were just having the best time as well. I know there's a couple of behind the scenes shots where you guys are just all together with big smiles on your face. What was it like physically bringing this idea that you fought to have to life?
I mean, like, it was literally the best. I think me and India have spoken about this before in the team, like, it's definitely like the best days of that year for sure. And like, yeah, it makes everything so worth it when you work so hard. And like, obviously we've got these really lovely behind the scenes photos of all the fun we were having. Like, you should have seen us the day before. Oh my God, we were running around like on the verge of tears. Things were going wrong. Like, it was not fun. But like,
it's all worth it in the end. And so many awards.
So our festival circuit, because obviously Corona hit, we didn't want to do any, not to sound like ridiculous, or we're very, very humbled by what we've got, but we didn't want to go to, you know, Cannes or anything just yet, because obviously everything's shut down at the moment. So Craig and I decided to kind of do a festival plan with the director and thought, right, we're going to do some online festivals. And we got into 7 out of 8 of them, and then we won one of the categories, which was really, really cool. I'm amazed. I'm still very shocked every time Craig tells me, because he's in charge of all of that stuff, oh my gosh, we got into another one. I'm still like, how is that thing? Yeah, it's cool. It's cool, isn't it, Orla?
Yeah, very well deserved. And what have you guys got coming up next, Orla? Is there any other plans in the pipeline?
Yeah, definitely. We are all trying to adapt Ding Ding Next, not adapt it, but take it further into a series, like a long form series. So we're working with our producer and trying to navigate how this turns into a series now, which I think is going to be wacky, insane. The ideas we got are amazing. I'm really excited about them. And also, India and I very recently are working on a short film about the witch trials in early England.
The witchcraft thing, I think, is going to be interesting because it's going to be completely period, kind of puritanical, but also an absurdist world where there's no men, and everything. We kind of want it to be shot like Office style. So, you know, you have like all of the girls kind of looking into the camera, and we like that kind of juxtaposition of this like very somber, drab time with these like quite comedic events that hopefully we can happen and kind of bring out the absurdity of like witch trials and stuff, and the bonding of females. Yeah, we don't, it's all kind of themes at the moment, but yes, the series is a monumental task, but it's so fun to work with, you know, all of, you know, everyone, because everyone's got a different crazy creative mind, and it's really nice to kind of hone ideas and bring stuff together and make something so weird, but something that is just genuinely so fun to work on. So I'm hoping at some point that might get picked up. The people at the Screen South did say that the kind of world that we'd created had legs. So yeah, exciting things.
That would be great to see. I'm looking forward to it. Thank you so much to both of you for chatting to me. Have a wonderful rest of your International Women's Day, and I will see you both soon. Bye.
Woo woo!
Thank you,
Tara.